Here, Saturday doesn't mean shit. Saturday probably means it's open. I don't know, I'd expect to see more people out on a Saturday buying shit. So Gil, I've done one territory so far. I literally finished the first territory yesterday, and I killed Hope. I think I've killed Hope for everybody now. So Faith's region, look, that little bitch be crossed out now because I done did her. I made her dissolve herself in some water. I don't really have any issues with that. I'm fine with that. Do I have much of a territory to do left? I still have 13 missions apparently to do in there, and 14 cult properties. But I've still got pretty much all of John's. Although I've done a lot of the side shit for these. Like his area is nearly completed. I can nearly actually call him out. Him I'm nowhere near calling out. He's going to be the last one. Well, he's the second to last one, because then you go back to here and meet Johnny Poo. So yeah. Faith, that's it, yeah, Faith, yeah. That's it, Faith, yeah. I done did that, bitch. She extinguished. Have you played this much yourself, Gil? Was she trained on a... yeah. Okay, so we'll go do this, I guess? Yeah. I was doing all the side stuff, but now I'm kind of a bit more like, maybe we should just push for a few more missions. Is there any cars here? Oh well, I can always ask for my own car. I keep forgetting I have my own cars. You didn't even start Jacob? Was I meant to? Which one's Jacob? Not going to join the golf karaoke. I feel like I won't know the song if I have to sing, so I also have to work later. Well, that's no worries, Eric. I mean, you're always more than welcome to watch. And if you're like this time round, you're like, do you know what, that seems fun. We do it every single month, so we should try and keep it over the second or third Saturday of every month. So if you can't make it now, there's nothing to say that you aren't more than welcome for future ones. We do have in my Discord, if you go into my golf karaoke session on there, if you scroll up to Miss Honeypenny's choice for musicals, that's what we're doing today. A lot of them I was a bit worried about. I was like, oh, I don't know a lot of musicals that well. These ones were all pretty, to like Penny's credit, she made a good list of like songs that people would know even if they're not really into like theatre and shit. Like a lot of these are movie ones, and I think it'll work well. But in fact, let me just pause that a second. Let me go to my Discord and just make sure that's pinned, because that'd make it a lot easier for people who are actually doing golf karaoke tonight, or just want to see what the list is. So, let me just find Honeypenny's lists. Okay, so. Oh no, it's only going to... Miss Honeypenny did it nicely. She separated each one rather than do it in one big post. She separated them. So if you look for May the 24th, she posted it then. Actually, let me. Actually, I'll just copy all of these again, I guess. I think this is all of them. Penny's list for tonight's session. So if you go into my Discord now and go to the golf karaoke section, you'll be able to see all of the songs. She's even got the YouTube videos for us ready, so fucking A, yeah? Oh no, do all the side shit. It pinned? It is pinned? Oh, it is pinned? Oh, I was just being an idiot. And you think I should do the side shit first? Oh, you're taking me to the dark side, aren't you? I wanted to do that stuff, but then I was like, maybe it's not that interesting for people. But now Sty's just going to make us drive around and try and find lighters. Why is there no, I don't understand why there isn't any filter on this. Like, why can't I just get a legend so I can be like, I only want to see where the lighters are, please? And Sty and the whole Evolution are going to be joining us on golf karaoke tonight. Shit, I never sent Arrow a message about it. Fuck. I was meant to do that, like when I was watching you guys do your shit. God damn. Sty, tell Funk, tell Arrow, anyone else from Evolution who is actually up for it, that it is tonight at 7 PM British time, and the list is up on my Discord if they dig it. More than merry. You only know Summer of the Rainbow? Hopefully you get that one then, Gil. Yeah, Eric, we do it every month, so we don't do it every week. We do it every month, just where then we compare. There's a couple of things, like every month we do golf karaoke, which is really fun, and then usually the following week, every month, myself and Kyle213, the artist formerly known as Booty to some of you, we do our music talk show, so we try and do like a few little different kind of streams once a month, just to, you know, keep it fresh and stuff, you know, give something else to do instead of just games now. I love games, but it's fun just to like branch out into like other interests as well, you know. Every week is movie night, that's correct, yeah. And yes, Sty's in on it, fucking A. Oh man, I can't wait, it's gonna be a great golf karaoke. I think Edo's 7 hours ahead of me, so my golf karaoke should be at noon your time. That sounds about right, to be fair, actually. The auto-drive bot is so bad. I know, right? I just do it so I can have a nice little chill, have a little smoke and a cup of tea whilst I'm talking to you guys. Then the dude just drives into fucking trees the whole time. He's so slow. Oh shit, look how fast we can go when we're not auto-driving. Motherfucker don't even power slide with his handbrakes. Like me. I did it really well. Your drive just made him brake to get down on speed as well. What a bastard, hey? You're on Eastern Standard Time. Okay, fair enough. I don't know too much about the different American time zones, but I believe that's similar to Kyle? No, wait, he's in Tennessee now. There's people on the eastern side, I know, yeah. Oh, and Fizzle? Yeah, Gil. Also, it's lovely to see you, Gil. How has life been, man? I know you've been, like, on the streams less frequently, and I can only hope and assume that means, you're having a fucking good time in RL. Not Rocket League. Real life, yeah. Like the craziest of RPGs. And you got fucking game beast skill, fucking A, dude. Oh, you got it because of me? Nice. Does it work as well? Because I know for you always seem to have some weird versions of shit, so... But yeah, like, that's awesome, Gil. You know how fun game beast can be. You must have watched it a million times in the time that we all had it. And it's worked. Fair enough, dude. Well, I'm glad work's getting my feelings. Why did it just stop me here? I'm clearly not where I want to be. Where am I? Oh no, I clearly am where I want to be. I was just looking at the mission. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. Jesus. What a pleb. Jiminy Cricket. I want that. I want it. I want it. It's mine. I want it now. I want it right now. I had enough time to get my parachute out there. Parachutes are dangerous, apparently, then. Cutters can say he is my state neighbour. Ah, nice! Fucking A! Shit, maybe he doesn't want me telling people that. Now he's gonna be like, oh, god damn it, I've been avoiding Eric for fucking years and then you come in and ruin it all in a space of minutes, Fizzle. That's right, just don't tell Kyle you know where he lives until you're at his door. That way, he's probably dead before I even get blamed for it, so... Not saying you'll necessarily murder him, but... Just call it like intuition, you know. And yeah, it works out. I do have some input delay with your PS3 controller, so I'm going to get a brand new controller. Ah, that's a good shout. To be fair as well, Gil, that game kind of has like built-in bloody delay input. You know, it's so much harder to like actually hit stuff and that than you want it to be on that game. But yeah, getting a new controller's not bad. I had my old 360 controller, which is still working. It just kind of like the analog stick pushes off to the left, so I got myself a wireless wireless Xbox One controller and like the adapter for my PC. And I know people are like, "Oh, it's got worse input delay than the PlayStation." I haven't really seen any different. I still think it's working perfectly fine, perfectly in time for me. And like I believe that the difference is so fucking like negatable. It's barely even worth mentioning, you know. And thanks, Sty. Thanks for that. Thanks for that clip. You're a good buddy, Sty. Good buddy. But I'm hoping you're going to send that out to the parachute company. Because what the fuck was up with that? I mean, come on. They make parachutes. That was extremely dangerous. So I really wish there was a way I could just do the lighters. I could just go online and find a map for all the lighters, actually, couldn't I? That is that's something that will exist. But I'm on stream, so you guys might say it's cheating. So I can't even mention that I could possibly do that. Because I need you all to believe that I'd find everything in games perfectly by myself. Frank's super far away, man. What's this? Good Samaritan. Meh. Fuck that noise. We want lighters and comic books, basically. This game knows how to please me. Wait, so did you think I should have gone for Jacob first? I kind of went for her first because she was pretty evil. Okay, yeah, this one won't tell us where the shit is, will it? I've got to get 6 more comic books though, so like, that's not that many more. Oh my god, don't you joking, get the map. Yeah, I know, right? I'm just trying to see if they show up, because I've unlocked some stuff, like it shows me where some stuff is, like here's a lighter. And I can fast travel to near the garage. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. The thing is, I just know if I don't do this sort of shit before I finish the main missions, I will never come back and finish these missions. And although I'm never going for like 100% on games, like, it's nice to still get as much done as I know I can. What? Wait, what was I doing? Wait, I forgot you could customize shit. Wait, can I customize my cool gun car? No, motherfucks. Okay, so all I can do on this one is change it to that. Okay, fair enough. You going to play with Sif? Have fun? No worries, Sty. Have a take it easy, dude. I hope you guys smash it. I shouldn't be playing Rocket League, so have a fucking great one, man. Oh my god, this fucking tune. I didn't know this was on this song. My god. Yeah, Godspeed, buddy. Nope. Apparently the truck was like, no, we're not doing that. Motherfucker, we're a truck. We're a goddamn truck. We do what we want. Was that a bad truck? I think that was. No, that was an innocent civilians. Okay. Shit. Shit. I thought that was a bad people's. It looked pretty though when it blew up, hey. I don't believe I've seen any trains on this yet. What's stronger, a train? There. What's stronger, a train or a truck? With my God. With my God. My God. It says they're clean. They're muck clean. But it also says I'm muck coy. Well, I'm not always that coy. Look at all that blood. And you reckon train would win? I don't know, I just don't know if there's any science to back that up, Gil. I mean, trucks are pretty tall. Oh wait, they're good guys. I was fucking sneaking around, and they're good. You were just shouting aggressively. I thought you were bad people.
There's people in the prison who want to save Marshall Burke from the bliss.
Sinners and all! We're survivors!
We're survivors! So we got Susie. We got him and we got him. We can get rid of him. How do we get rid of him? Remove. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You.
Need a reminder.
You hide.
I got a knack for this sort of thing.
Now you. Get the fuck out. I want my dog. No, I don't want the cat. I want the dog. Give me my dog. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Never met a real hero before.
Here he comes. Come here, Boomer. Come here, buddy. Yeah, you good little poodle. Good little pupsy pup. Good pooch. Yeah. I know, right? Woo, yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that won't cause us any trouble. Oh. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I know, Boomer. That looks disgusting. Cat's better? Come on now. Even you can't believe that. A dog is better than a cat. Even if it's a giant cat, a dog's still better, man. I mean, if they end up like, I've been hoping that science would eventually make what would be known as pygmy lions and tigers. So, you know, you get, like, pygmy animals, like pygmy goats and shit, and they're just, like, really small versions of them. I want pygmy lions and tigers. So they're, like, lion cubs and that. So they're, like, they'd be the size of, like, probably a good-sized dog. But there'd be a lion and a tiger. That'd be really fun. So if any of you know science and can help me with that, I'd really appreciate it. And I'd cut you in on it. Like 70-30, something like that. We'd work on it, but it'd be fine. Do 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 do. Loopy doopy doo, loopy scooby la boo, la do 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 do. Scooby dooby doo ba boop ba la boo. Scooby dooby dooby, skip ba la boop ba doop ba doop ba ba scooby doop ba doo la ba boop. There's a lighter. Okay. Hey, Funk baby, how you doing today, dude? Biatch. Pick a lily, isn't that Liam's thing? But lovely to see you, Funk. Are you also ready for golf karaoke tonight, buddy? I know you are. Could you let Arrow know it's tonight at 7 o'clock as well, please? Because I kind of forgot to send him a message. Where? I know, I don't know where the marker is. Oh, god damn that fucking plane, man. Where's the lighter? Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's opened up now. Yep, fucking A, dude. Yeah, so if you take a look at my Discord, there's a golf karaoke section, and yeah, all of the songs that we'll be doing tonight are on there, so you guys can get a little listen if you don't know any of them. But also, do you all have golf with your friends? I forgot to actually ask you that. That's kind of a very mandatory thing. Big cats aren't meant to be pygmy because they aren't meant to be pygmy, but would be strawberry. No, but that's it. That's what I mean, though. Like, we can make all these designer dogs and shit, you know, all these dogs that just have savage health problems. I mean, I don't want the pygmy lions or tigers that have health issues, don't get me wrong, but I do want them. And I feel like, if we can clone a sheep, why can't we make a mini tiger yet? Where are our priorities? Why is this place on fire? Well, that was easy. Easier if there wasn't a fucking plane involved. Hey, are you trying to fuck with my dog? Motherfucker. How did you not just die? Honestly, how are you not dying? You have 3 arrows in your forehead. Oh shit me. How's my dog over there? Please leave me alone. You're right there, Boomer. I'm good, buddy. You good, boy? Fucking hell, you leave my dog alone, you piece of shit. Whew, right. Now, does this little place have a machine gun at all? I'd appreciate a machine gun. Like, you know, the mounted ones that I can shoot at aeroplanes. No, 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 no! Oh. Okay. Alright, we're stacking these lighters now, guys. I do notice a lot of unsmoked cigarettes in this game, like there is in the ashtray, so maybe it's just no one can find the fucking lighters. That's why these lighters are so cherished, you know? Yeah. And you do have it fucking ale folk, punk even. And the songs look good, nice. You need genetic engineering to make these big cats. So yeah, that's exactly it. It'll be easy. Have I seen a video of a cheetah speaking? No. That sounds amazing. What does it say? And could I train it to, like, say, Fizzle McCoy streams the shiznit? So then people are like, oh my god, I should check that out because that cat told me to. Because if I saw a giant cat tell me to do something, I wouldn't even question it, man. I'd be like, that cat figured out how to tell me how to do that? It's probably important. Okay, back to the map. with my map. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to try and do it like I do crosswords. Just take it part at a time, you know. Or word searches. Crosswords I don't take that time. But word searches I usually go around, you know, try and find the easy words that jump out at you. If they don't jump out at you, then, you know, you go to the next section. That's exactly what I'm doing. Boom, boom, but hey, here's a lighter. We gotta go rise. Okay. It sounds like a bird. I have to link the video of the cheat speaking. Oh, okay. I think Gilman found it. Let me have a quick look. You'll be able to hear it through mine. Fuck. Jesus. That does sound like a bird. You're right. Did you know? I believe this. If I get this wrong, I'm going to be super embarrassed about it. But I believe cheetahs are actually, whereas like a lion is known as a big cat, a cheetah is still known as a small cat, more like a domestic cat, but it's the biggest like known small cat basically. Because yeah, technically a cheetah isn't a big cat. It is technically still a cat. It's not classed as big. It's just the biggest of the small cats basically. Because cheetahs purr as well. I think that's one of the big differences, isn't it? That big cats like lions and shit, they don't actually have the ability to purr, and that's what sort of is more of a definable thing. Whereas a cheetah can still purr, I believe, and that's why they are not classed as a big cat, because they can still do the shit that a little cat can do. They're just a bit bigger than a little cat, you know. Man boots full. I should see if I can make anything. I don't think I can make anything in this one, can I? No. Okay. May I post a link? Yeah, go for it, Eric. That's fine, yeah. That's the exact video you're gonna do. Let me see. Oh. Oh. Okay, that's fucking adorable. That's too adorable. Everyone should watch that. That really is amazing. Well, to be fair, I still appreciate, to be fair, Gil, I do appreciate when people ask for, like, if they can post links still. I know people like yourself and Einan and that, they're all completely safe, you know, they've been around for so long, like, you know, for, like, mods and very long timers, I kind of feel safe knowing that you guys won't do anything too bad. I don't feel like Eric would ever post anything too bad either, but it's still nice that you ask. I think that's very nice. It's nice etiquette, you know. Yes. Right, so there's another lighter up there, but is there one closer? Because I haven't been up there yet. Oh yeah. Yeah, as long as it's not any, like, I mean, with the links, as long as they're not stuff that are, like, inappropriate, that'll get people, aka me, banned, or cause, you know, distress to others. As long as it's in the rules, you know, as long as you're chill. There's nothing unchill about a beautiful little cat purring, you know. Oh man, this is going to be a long drive. I literally have to start from here. Jesus. Okay. And there's a bear cub purring? Okay. If I keep looking at all these cute little animals purring, then I'm never going to play the game. I'm going to have to keep going, but god damn it, you guys enjoy that. Let me know how beautiful they are. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? There. Wait, did someone just go down? Wait, what? Was that a resistant fighter just helped? Is there no cars here? What kind of farm has no cars? No, they're still alive. Okay, let's start our 1,200 meter run. Yeah. Doom doo doo doom doom doo doom.
Coming in for a attack run. Fire in the air.
I just like sliding on this game. It's quite enjoyable. Whee.
I'm gonna strafe these sinners.
Wait, what? That's a real thing? Oh, fuck you. Who are you? What are you? What are you? Were you a Wolverine? Little shit hat?
On Fizzle.
Lost visual? Okay, we just gotta hope he doesn't find us and leaves. But now there's a crazy Wolverine looking for us too.
Bombs away!
Bombs away? Oh, he's bombing over there, that's fine. Wait, they fucked up my dog. Oh, you sons of bitches. Oh, that's why I'm getting fucked up. I didn't see you were in your car.
Moving in for an attack run!
God forgot about you long
Let's fucking do this. Where is that bitch? Where is that punk? Come at me. Come at me, you piece of shit.
I'm gonna strafe these sinners! Zeroing in on the target!
Is he? Because, I mean...
Bomb dropped!
Did I not even... Oh, they did a pretty good bomb drop there. Oh, cling to... Oh, there's no point clinging to life. I think the dog's done for as well, yeah. Oh, God. These nooses are the best? Yes. Noises. That makes more sense. Oh, there was somewhere to spawn a car here as well, after all. Huh, how funny. Okay, let's take super fast 9000. Get in. Get. Right, I'll meet you there, Boomer.
Target visual.
You telling me I can't drive over fucking pumpkin patches? What's going on here? World's strongest pumpkins.
I'm gonna strafe these sinners!
Oh, Jesus. I killed an innocent civilian with that shot? Damn, man. Oh, Jesus, man. I'm trying to reverse. Why is it still driving forward? I don't... I was trying to reverse, but it still kept just coming forward. That's right, Boom will save me. Right. Son of a bitch. Okay, they're fine. Truck looted, baby. Also, Bloomer, thank you for saving my life there, buddy. You're the best. You're a good boy. No. Oh, he loves me too. That's cute. Right, let's go find some stuffs. Repair torch needed, but that's a lie. If I'm in the car, it's fine, it said before. Forgot to take this piece of shit? I do. Whoa, buddy. Please don't walk in front of the car. That's terrifying. Let's change the station. Oh, I've only got 2 radio stations out here? Damn, man. I suppose I don't listen to the radio that much anymore, but... Oh, get wrecked! Got him. Civilian rescued, apparently. Where are they? There we go. Did I not rescue anyone in that? I thought I'd done pretty good at rescuing, but hey ho. Can't win them all, I guess. Move out of the way, flowers! You're gonna get hurt! Oh. No, we pushed it the wrong way. Let's be logical about this. Oh, fuck me. I'm strong. Just pushed the whole fucking car, man. Let's get back to that road down there. Oh, no, that's a tree. Fish. Cool. South Park entrance. Cool. Heyo. Do they want to go? If they want to go, I'm happy to go. Stupid dildos. Right. Oh, they're about to go too. Nice. Let's just assume that's a bad place. Well, fun times. Fun times. Oh wait, there's another one to kill. Jesus, man. Oh, the luck I'm having. Let's see, are you good or bad? I think they're good. They're good. They're good. Let's go find it on foot. I feel taking a car's cheating sometimes, you know. Nope. Can't run up that bit. Be careful. Yep, see. Oh no, they're enemies. I thought there was just gonna be bears.
Thanks for the safe.
Get liberated,
I
woman.
owe that cult some payback.
Right,
Been a
go
lot
get
of
some.
judges around here. Jacob's been taking normal wolves and using horses.
I don't care what they're doing. It's their business. We just gotta kill them. We're the police. We don't need to know what motive is. We just need to murder. Ah. So it's down there, hey? I wonder if this hatch could lead to them. Right. Damn man, I think I might be getting a bit of motion sickness from this game again today. Seems to be happening a fair amount on this game. I've changed the field of view, but... maybe I just need to turn slower. Maybe I'm just going too fast. It's so quiet in here, I know, it's lovely. Take. We getting there, we getting there. So... keep forgetting I can go into this bit and make shit as well. You don't actually find that much oregano. Oops. You're pissed now? I don't know why. Why are you pissed, Gil? Have you been drinking? Is that why you're pissed? Oh, yeah. Wait, is this the wrong way? I don't want to get in this shithole. Maybe this way. You got called to work in 2 hours? No! 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 We want a Gil for karaoke! I'm gonna punch this man in the crotch till I feel better about it. That's saddening to hear, Gil. That sucks. Can't you fake diarrhea? And remember that one time you shot at yourself, so couldn't you just say you did it again? I wouldn't question it. I'd be like, Gil shot at himself again, goddamn. You know, goddamn. That sucks, Gil, man. Aw, buddy. It seemed like you were going to be a sure thing for this one again. Still, work means you're getting some Skrilla, baby, so that's good at least. Also, have you had any cool upgrades people have asked you to do on computers recently, or anything like that? No, 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 stop bouncing! Okay, this way? Generic computer builds mostly? Ah, fair enough. Yeah, they can still be fun. What's this place? So there is a car we could use to drive to the location, but oh, this zipline's teeny anyway. I was going to say that zipline might take us quite far anyway. Felt like I heard snakes. I feel like I heard live ammo being shot. Maybe it's just my mind's playing tricks on me though. I don't know who was shooting at, but I think I just saved someone. Fuck snakes? I don't even know how you would. I mean, I suppose you could fuck them in the mouth. They have teeth, bad teeth as well. I don't know where their insemination hole would actually be. You know, I don't know if snakes do it like that or not. I'm not here to judge. I just don't really know the ins and outs of snake sex. Not enough that I could fuck one. You know. Why is my car not moving? Oh, because I was going into a tree. That's why. Oh, god damn it. Had some guy with a Beast PC come in for a Windows installation. That's hilarious. Really awesome setup, but they still need help setting up Windows. Come on, I should be able to drive through this, right? I mean, it's a shortcut. I'm gonna have to drive all the way around here like a goddamn peasant. By the way, we had a... You had a missile thrown at you again. Or you had a misled thrown at us again. You were either misled or you had a fucking missile thrown at you. One of those is way worse. Alright, I'll let you drive then. Go on then. Do you want to drive then? I'll be taking that. Which way are you going? Goddamn Sunday drivers. Saturday. Multiple missiles. Oh, fucking hell, man. That sucks. Oh, shit, man. I hope everything's alright for you and, like, yours, Gil, man. Were they close to, like, where you are? Is that good for PC building companies? Imagine people need some downtime during all this. We had one soldier killed by sniper fire. Oh damn, dude. That's the thing, like, being some blatant Britain and stuff where... Oh, hello? Huh. Oh no, it crashed. Far Cry 5 crashed. Yeah, I know. Thanks for telling me you play. Well.